Hi, and welcome to the A Quilting Life podcast with Sherri and Chelsea.
I'm Sherri from A Quilting Life.
And I'm Chelsea of Chelsea Stratton Designs. And we're so excited to be here for our very first episode with all of you.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for quite a while, so it's nice that it's finally coming to fruition.
Yeah, a really long time. And we just feel like there's a lot of fun things we can talk about and just have a really fun space that everyone can join in with us. So we're really excited about it.
Just to let you know, kind of the things that we've thought about that we'd talk about with each episode are the things that we're sewing, the things that we're working on, maybe our new fabric collections and new patterns, and then even get into like what we're watching, what we're reading, the inspiration that we're finding, whether it's through Instagram or magazines or clothing or home decor, just kind of inspiration. And then just a little bit about what life is like for us at home, our schedules, our routines.
Yeah, I feel like we're really excited to, get on a little bit more of a personal level with everyone. And this is going to be a fun space to be able to do that and just talk about all the normal things that are going on, with everything else that we do with the quilting and the new fabric lines and sewing. And so I think this is going to be a cool space to do that with everyone.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then, of course, we'd love to hear if you have any questions, or we'd love to add a Q&A segment to the podcast. If you have questions, just let us know, and we can work those into a special segment with each podcast.
Yeah. So I think today it'd be really great to just kind of do a little introduction of both of us. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, I mean, if you want to go for it.
That sounds good.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So I guess I've been quilting since, like the early 90s is when I start quilting. I sewed from the time I was about 10 years old when my mom gave me a sewing machine for my birthday, but I was never going to be a quilter. That was what my grandma did, and I thought she was crazy to cut up fabrics and sew them back together. But, somewhere along the line, and it was actually my grandmother telling me no to make a quilt for my oldest son that really got me quilting, and that was it. And back in 2008, I started my blog, A Quilting Life, and that just really led to my quilting becoming not just my hobby, but more of something that I wanted to share with other people. And I just really appreciate the online community. There were lots of quilting bloggers back then, not as many now, but it was just a great community to encourage one another and get started. And because of that led to books and patterns and then eventually fabric design with Chelsea.
Yeah, so I feel like I was the same. I really didn't want to quilt. I saw everything that you were doing, and I remember I kind of used to tease you about it. But we started with the fabric design together, and I remember you came to me and you were like, "Do you want to do this?" And I was really excited about it. So we started designing fabric together. And then I remember attending my first quilt market, and I was just really amazed and really inspired by everyone there who were making all these beautiful quilts. And I thought, you want to know what? I think I really want to try this. And I fell in love with it. And at the time I was raising young kids, and it just gave me something to lean on and something to do. And I started my pattern company in 2018, and ever since then, I've just been in love with it. So quilting has become a favorite thing of mine, something that I do daily and something really that keeps me inspired.
Yeah. So let's move into what we've been working on. I know we both have just recently finished quilts. I just finished a king size version of my timeless pattern. As soon as I found out that Quilt Market was canceled, I decided that I was going to make that quilt in a king size version. It's really hard to take a king size quilt to Quilt Market and really properly display it in the space we have for our booths. And so So my plan initially was to make the 9-block version for the pattern. And then when I got home, I was going to make a king size version. And so, once Quilt Market was canceled, I was like, oh, I'm just going to make it king size. So I just finished that, and it's going to head off to be quilted this week. And it was a lot of fun, but a lot of work. And I know you just finished a quilt too, because it's downstairs right now.
It is downstairs. I thought I could get some fun pictures of it here at your house. I had been wanting to do this quilt along for a while, and we just wrapped it up. It was a lot of fun. We had a great group of women that joined in, and so we did the quilt along for my Hearts at Home quilt pattern. And it ran for about 6 weeks. We just got done with it, and I had so much fun. Honestly, really, it was perfect for everything that's been going on. And also with Quilt Market canceled, I was like, this will be great. This will be a thing that inspires women and brings them together. And I had a really good experience with it. I learned a lot. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it got me through the past couple months. So that was really great. So
yeah, don't you think it's interesting how everything that's been going on in the world has really affected our sewing? I noticed that I have just felt like I've wanted to make more small projects for quick finishes, just to like keep my spirits up during everything that's been going on. I feel like the Moda Blockheads has really helped with that too, because I'm just having to finish a small block, and it's just to have a finish, even if it's a block, has been really...
Yeah, I agree. I think small projects like that, they keep your interest, especially with blockheads. It's something that you're making weekly. That has a lot of people joined in with that whole thing. So that's a lot of fun. I feel like at first I wasn't sure, how inspired I was, but really quilting has been my go-to thing right now. Every single day I'm doing something in my sewing room. So yeah, and now it's summer.
Yeah.
So.
I can't believe it's just it's Memorial Day weekend when we're taping this. This is going to air on June 1st, but wow, it is really almost summer. And because it's summer and we don't have another collection that we'll be sharing with you until August, we can actually kind of sew what we want for a month or so.
Which is really, really exciting, actually, to pull out your list of must makes and just pick from there, whether it's a small project or something that you've been dreaming of making for a while. I know I save all of my favorite quilts from different magazines, and I have little tabs in there. And so actually, thank you for that, because I might just go pull one of those out and make something.
Yeah, I've been trying to decide what I'm going to make too. So, because I don't think we'll have fabric to sew with until July.
Yeah, which is really exciting, because we can't wait to share our newest collection with you all. Can't believe it's already going to be that time again in a few months.
Yeah.
So what are you watching these days?
What am I watching these days? Yeah. I've been really watching a lot of these singing competitions have had their, American Idol and The Voice are all doing it from home.
They still have their episodes going.
I've really enjoyed that, actually, because you get to see their homes. And that's something I'm always interested in. And you know what? Some of them have had quilts.
Oh,
that
really?
You see in the background. Those are kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I tend to watch a show while I'm quilting. I don't know if you do the same. So, yeah.
So what are you watching?
Well, I'm more of a rerun person. I don't like to, I don't know. I haven't really branched out into any new shows. I watch a lot of The Office reruns. So I just finished, actually, you guys, don't make fun of me. I just finished Heartland. That's a really good, wholesome show that I really, really love. So, yeah. It's about family and hardship. And so, yeah.
Oh, and speaking of The Office, because I actually binge watched all 9 seasons.
Yes, you did.
Right at the beginning of this year. And I feel like we finished that right when this whole stay-at-home thing started. I got through the last 2 seasons. But I did enjoy watching John Krasinski's Some Good News on YouTube.
Yes.
I watched all 8 episodes.
And did you see the cast reunion that he did?
Yes, that was really fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes, that was very exciting.
Yeah. So what you're reading? Are you reading anything lately?
Actually, I just got I did a poll on my Instagram. So I have a good list. I just need to pick one. But when I came over to your house, I saw that you had Where the Crawdads Sing sitting out, and that was on my list. So I know you're reading that, but I really want to read that one too.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to start it, so I will let you have it when I'm done.
But you also just gave me your new Labor of Love book. So I've been going through that as well. You did a really beautiful job on that. So
well, thank you.
That's really exciting.
I feel like the photography, Martingale always does such a great job with that. So yeah, and we'll be talking about that more later because I am going to do a sew along this fall with
fun.
The sampler quilt that I made from that book. So
that'll be a lot of fun.
We'll talk about that in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dive more into different topics like that because I was going to say, do you typically have a few different projects you're working on at one time, or do you just focus on one project and just do that one?
Oh, that's a really good question because I've known quilters through my life that are one way or the other. Like my sister-in-law will just work on one quilt basically until she finishes it. Even if it's a really time-consuming project and it takes her a year, she won't do anything else until it's done. Yeah, but then I know other quilters that have like 8 projects going at once. And I feel like I'm more along the line with that. I have, sometimes I get bored of projects. And so it's fun to have something else that you can just jump to. And then I also like to have those projects that go on for a year or two. I've done string quilts and like cabin quilts and pineapple quilts that have taken me a few years to English paper piecing, grandmother's flower garden quilts that have taken years. So I do like to have those long-term projects, and I do like to have more going on at once. What about you?
I feel like I like to focus on one project at a time, but I would say just one big project because I am doing more than one thing at a time always, like whether it's organizing my studio, and I just had I was focused on the Hearts at Home quilt that I was doing, but I'm also doing other things like designing new fabric lines and just I keep a to-do list. I feel like I'm a list person because you were always a list person. I used to see your to-do lists around the house, and I like checking things off of my list is very exciting for me. So, but
yeah, do you ever add things to your list that you never put on your list just so you can check them off?
I do.
Yep, I do that too.
I didn't write laundry, but I did the laundry. So I'm going to give myself a pat on the back.
Exactly.
And, things have been probably a little bit more different at my house than they are at your house. I have my 3 kids, and we've been doing some schooling at home and we're doing lots of crafts at home, which has actually inspired me to start working on more kids projects for sewing and quilting. And my oldest daughter actually asked me if she could start sewing, which is very exciting for me because I think at such a young age, it's exciting to see her get interested in it. So we actually I gave her a mini charm, and I said, start laying out squares, and she wanted to make a pillow. And so we got it all laid out, and she's going to start sewing. So that's really exciting. That's going on.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see how she puts the fabrics together. And
then you guys can have sewing dates, and you can help her do all those things.
Yeah.
Do you have anything fun coming up in the next few months that's happening? Your book just released.
We'll
have new fabric in.
We'll have the new fabric.
August.
I'm going to start designing the new patterns this week.
Yeah.
For the new collection. And I have like my list of what I want to do. But I've got to get it from the graph paper into the computer and see how it all works out. I've got a couple things I can't really share yet, but
that's exciting.
As soon as I can, I will.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, we're just hopeful that we're able to have fall quilt market because I feel like we really miss that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of connection you make when you're at market in person. So it was very strange not being in Pittsburgh. What was it, like a week ago we would have been there?
We would have been there last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we love seeing all of our friends and our Moda family. And so this has been kind of a strange time, but I feel like we'll have even bigger hugs to share this fall when we're all together. So
yes,
that will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what about inspiration? I thought that would be something fun to talk about every time we record. Where are you finding inspiration from these days?
Okay, so typically I spend a lot of time outside. So as far as like fabric design, I really am inspired by nature. But with quilt designs, I mean, it could be everything. It could be, a tile floor I see, or, just houses that I see, different colors that I see are really inspiring to me. Actually, I had just talked to you about Grandma's old quilt. I'm really inspired by things that were my great-grandmother's. So those have been really inspiring for me.
Oh, yeah. And then we just looked at those tea towels last night.
Yes, those were adorable.
Too. Yeah.
Those were so cute.
The 50s and 60s. A lot of inspiration there. I just got this book that I'm excited to start looking through, and it's Classic American Homes. And it's just been really fun to look at the decor and, the furnishings and everything like that, and just get inspired from that for projects.
Probably all the colors that you see in there.
Yeah. And I feel like not being able to leave home so much has made it to where I want to look at other things even more.
Yeah.
I've been to Costco once since February. I
went once too.
Yeah. I haven't been to our local grocery store at all. Post office, I'm trying to limit that to like 2 to 3 days a week, but really I haven't gone anywhere. So
I feel like there's been a lot of good too that has come from this, just in different ways creatively for me. Like I really have kind of had like a creative burst. Like there's so many ideas I have just being able to, having to stay home and just sitting and thinking about things. And so that part has been really good, just being really inspired and wanting to start new projects or new things that maybe I haven't done before. What I've really appreciated is the quilting community as a whole is just very inspiring. Everyone is working on different things, and a lot of different creative things are happening right now, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing a lot more writing, a lot more organizing, and while those might not seem like they're creative, inspirational creatively, I really feel like they do open the window for that. Even just organizing my sewing room. We actually just moved into this house right before the shutdown orders happened. So, I've been doing a lot of organizing and sorting and destashing. And I had a neighbor across the street who was making tons of masks. So I was able to put fabric on her doorstep a few times for those.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was a win-win. I got cleared out of some fabric and it went to a good cause.
I actually think that's good. Well, that you were able to get into your home right before, because it really has given you a chance to stay home and do typically when you move, that's a lot of work, a lot of sometimes stress that comes with that. And so being able to be like, oh, well, I have the time to do this.
Right.
That's good. That's awesome. And that's really cool that you were able to donate fabric for masks. And I know you made some masks, and
it's been good.
So our community here where we live as a whole has really come together to make masks. And to donate and to give back, which has been really great to see.
Yeah. Just I thought about going back to Quilt Market. Do you have a favorite collection? You know, the designers this week have been sharing their new collections. So we should talk about that.
I have loved seeing, because we were a pre-market group.
Right.
And so we were in a different group than everyone. I'm going to be honest. I really, really love Folktale by Vanessa Gertzen of Lella Boutique. It is gorgeous. I really, really love her fabric lines because she typically switches up her palette every single time, which is a lot of fun and very exciting because you wonder what she's going to come out with next. Folktale is beautiful. I really, really love that one.
Yeah, I feel like that's my favorite this time too. If I have to have a favorite of all the new collections.
I know it's hard to pick a favorite because they're all so good.
And plus, we're friends with everyone. So
yeah,
it's
I know.
You really do love every collection and see the beauty in each one. But yeah, I would like to sew something with Vanessa's. And then I also think, and maybe this is just me, like nostalgia back in the 70s, but Maureen McCormick, Marsha from the Brady Bunch is now a Moda designer.
Yes.
And I think her collection is really fun. It's really 70s. It's really bright and happy florals. And so, yeah, I think her collection and Vanessa's are the two collections that I would kind of like to just play around with in the sewing room.
That was very exciting news to hear that, and welcome to the Moda family, because it's interesting what you said. We love everyone's because when you meet the designer, we get the chance to meet everyone and, learn a little bit more about them. And when you do, you really fall in love with their desire to create something as well. And so obviously we love everyone from Moda and all of their fun collections. So yeah, but I am excited to get some of Vanessa's new collection. That one's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, that's when we sneak away from market. 5 or 6 of us will leave at the same time and go to lunch, and it's really fun. I really miss that this spring.
Yeah, so. I did miss that. We all get together and spend some time with each other, and a few of us actually live close to each other, so we can see each other, but mostly it's twice a year we get together and get to catch up, and that's definitely been different this year. So we'll be planning on fall, crossing our fingers that everything falls into place for us to be able to be there. And you want to know, it's even shop owners. We miss seeing shop owners that are friends and who have become people that we know, and that we see each time. Yeah, that we see each time. And so that's been very different, and we sure miss them.
Yes.
So I think this is going to be really fun. I think this podcast is going to be something really fun that we can do, and I hope everyone enjoys this. You can find me on Instagram as Chelsea Stratton, and there's a link to my Etsy shop. You can find my Hearts at Home quilt pattern that I was just talking about in this podcast. You'll be able to find that pattern available there. And so it's really
you have exciting. A blog too?
I do, www.chelseastratton.wordpress.com. If you would like to even start the Hearts at Home quilt pattern now, you can go back and read all of those previous blog posts with tips and tricks. And all of my patterns will be available in my Etsy shop as well. So you can find a link through Instagram or from my website. Or on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Pinterest too.
Oh, and we do have a Facebook group that we do together. We need to be better about
being more
posting and be more active on it.
But it's a great group. We have a lot of great women in there.
Yeah, and the numbers, people have just been growing. So
yeah, you can find us on Facebook. It's a Quilting Life Facebook group
with Sherri and Chelsea. Yeah, and then I have the blog, aquiltinglife.com. And then I also have a YouTube channel, A Quilting Life. And then Instagram, it's A Quilting Life. So yeah, and we will do a show notes post. Both of us will put it on our blog and put all the links so you can find our pattern shops and all the other places you can find us on social media. And we would love to have your questions for the Q&A.
Yes,
section.
Please send in questions.
So please send in some questions so that we can have those. The best place for you to put those questions would probably be to email us, I guess. You can find our email
Yeah.
through our Instagram
Yep.
or through our blog, or you could leave the question in the show notes posts that we're both going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be great. We're just really looking forward to
Yeah,
this.
we're excited. We've actually talked about this for some time now, and we just really feel like it's a good time. We love obviously spending time together, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we'll sign off now and hope you are enjoying your quilting life and getting lots of projects done.
And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Thanks so much for stopping by.